Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and as you can see by the title down below, today I will be talking about how I got my Canadian student visa approved in the first attempt from Jamaica. Now, if this is something you're interested in seeing, stick around, watch the entire video. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Alright, so in my previous video, I spoke about my entire international student journey from applying to schools to landing in Canada. So if you haven't seen that video, I would recommend you watch that video first. I will link it in the description box below, and then you can watch this one. Now, I had some questions from that video which I just want to clear up in case anybody else had those questions. One of the main questions I got from that video was if a degree was a must. Straight answer to that question is no. Having a degree to come to Canada is not a must. You can come to Canada from Jamaica with your CSEC and your CAPE. However, I was making reference to myself. I am doing post-degree studies, which means that I would have had to have a degree. However, if you only have CSEC and CAPE, you would just do a first diploma or a certificate, or you would not look for postgraduate studies. So that was one question. Another question was how much was the deposit? No, the deposit really depends on your school and your program. Whichever program you get accepted for, they will tell you what the deposit is and when is the due date. So for example, the school may tell you, oh, the deposit is 5,000 Canadian by X date. So you will want to pay your deposit beforehand because you will need your tuition deposit receipt when applying for your student visa. Another question is, when did I contact the rep? As I said before in that video, I was not going to use a rep. So I applied in June of 2022. I submitted my student visa application in June of 2022, and I contacted the rep in June of 2022. So it wasn't a case where the rep was with me from applying to schools straight up until I submitted my student application. So, and another question was if applying in June, as I stated, wasn't too late. And I guess the person had a misunderstanding that my school started in August. Remember, no, not every school program starts in August. My program started in January. So you have programs starting in August, you have programs starting in September, you have programs starting in January, you have programs starting in the spring, which is like May, April. So it wasn't too late for me applying in June. Actually, it was very early because I applied in June and my school doesn't start until January. So I had a lot of time span between my actual start date and the application. So if it's a case where you are going to start in August, or you're expected to start school in August or September, you would want to submit your application for your student visa with a little time in advance, because it takes a couple of weeks to get approved or to know your results from your application. So if, from my personal experience, if my school was going to start in August or September, I would have applied from maybe April for my student visa. And another question I got was where I did my biometrics, and I did my biometrics in Kingston, Jamaica, right at Waterloo at the Canadian Visa Application Center. It's where Fontana is located. If you know Fontana at Waterloo in Jamaica, in Kingston, Jamaica, that's where the Canadian Visa Application Center is located, right where Fontana is. I don't remember the exact address, but it's the Fontana at Waterloo, that same building. There's a building upstairs. You just go upstairs and you do it. So yeah, those were some questions I wanted to clear up from my previous video. And again, if you haven't watched that one, I would recommend you to watch that one first, because it's more in-depth. This video is going to be more straight to the point, how I got my student visa approved in the first attempt in less than 2 months, or about 2 months, and with no travel history. All right, now let's talk about exactly what I did and how I got my student visa approved in the first attempt. Now, I was strategic in choosing my school and my program. I currently already have a bachelor's degree in finance, so I was looking for a postgraduate certificate or a postgraduate diploma. Now, since I am already in the business field, I would not have chosen something in science or something way off from what I would have previously studied, because that would have meant that I would now need to explain in my student statement of purpose why the change, why you would have to have a proper explanation as to why you're branching off from what you previously studied to something way off. So I was strategic and I chose my postgraduate diploma in finance, as well as the province that my school is located in. Now, I am in Manitoba and it's not as populated as an Ontario or another province. I think, in my opinion, these provinces need more people. So I think it's a bit easier to get into these provinces as opposed to an Ontario. However, if you have family or if you have reasonable explanation as to why you want to go to Ontario, that's fine. But in my case, I chose Manitoba because I found a very attractive program here. It was affordable. Cost of living was not as high as opposed to when compared to the other provinces, a lot of other more popular provinces. And yeah, as I said before, the program required me to have a bachelor's degree in finance or business, 1 year work experience. So I checked all those lists and I could not envision a reason as to why I would not get approved from my school. So where school is concerned and the program, you want to stick with what you would have previously studied. If it is that you're coming here with just CSEC or CAPE from Jamaica, meaning you don't have a degree to relate to say that you're already in this field and you're sticking with this field, whatever you choose, you would have to explain why you're choosing this program. So if you're choosing marketing, if you're choosing project management, supply chain management, just have some explanation in your statement of purpose for your program of choice. Now, for statement of purpose, personally, I believe my statement of purpose was strong. It was straight to the point. It was just concise, and everything that needed to be said was said. For my statement of purpose, I just, everything that I stated in my statement of purpose, I attached proof. So if I stated that I had a business, I showed my business registration. If I stated that I can provide, I have the school fee, I showed my bank statement. So everything that you state in your statement of purpose, you want to ensure that you have proof of this. So you want to ensure that you, as I said before, I will make a video solely for the statement of purpose, but my statement of purpose, I think, is one of the most important aspects of your student visa application, and you want to ensure that everything that needs to be said is in that letter. Everything that the immigration officer might have a question about, you want to just explain it in a short way, because you don't want your letter to go over, in my opinion, 2 pages, because there are a lot of applications and immigration officers, they don't have time to be sitting down and reading a whole book. So the statement of purpose should be strong. You should do as much research on it as possible. You want to include everything that you think they would need explanation for, and everything that you make mention of, you want to attach proof. All right, so let's talk about proof of funds. For my proof of funds, I provided the statement showing only the balance, the complete balance in the account, and I made my bank show the equivalent in Canadian dollars, as well as I provided transaction history. So I did not only provide just the flat balance, I showed 4 months worth of transaction history from my account. On Canada's immigration website, they state that they want to see transactional history from the account. So in my opinion, I would recommend you to provide that history, because it shows that this money has been in your account for some time, and it just backs up your money. It shows that this money is in your account. It's not a case where it's a big lump sum just magically appearing in your account. You want to show them that you would have made consistent deposits over the course of 4, and you can provide even 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. The more months you can provide, the better for you. And as for proof of funds, somebody asked me if they have multiple accounts. In my case, it was just 1 account I was using, so I just provided that. But if it's a case where you have multiple accounts, do you need to put all the money in 1 account? In my opinion, I don't think you should move the money. If you have 4 accounts or 3 accounts, just provide the proof for all of the accounts. So show the history for all these accounts, show the balances in all these accounts. You don't need to move the money and put them all in one account. Now, if it's a case where it's a joint account, you and your father is in the account, you and your mother is in the account, you and your spouse is in the account. That wasn't the case for me. The account was in my name. It wasn't a joint account. However, if it is a joint account, I would recommend that the person who is in the account with you write us a letter to say that they are giving you access to this money. Because if it's a joint account, it means that both persons are primary account holders on these accounts. So you want to ensure that the next person is in agreement that you're able to use this money. So the person should just write a letter to stating that, oh, I am granting XYZ access to the account for her studies in Canada, etc. You can just Google those letters or just have the person write and sign the letter. What I would also recommend is that that person who is also in the account provides proof of employment to say that this is where the money comes from. So yeah, you want to, if it is a joint account, I can't speak too much about it because my account wasn't a joint account. But if it is a joint account that you are going to be submitting, just have the person write a sponsorship letter or one of those type of letters to say that they're giving you permission to use the money for your studies in Canada, and let the person provide proof of funds where they got the money from. Another thing that I would say that helped me to get approved is that my supporting documents. Everything that I mentioned in my statement of purpose, I provided proof of. So if I said that I had stocks, I got my equity statement from the bank to show my stocks. If I said that I have a small business, I provided my proof of registration for my business. If I said that I was employed, I provided my employment letter. I said that my mother and brother would be managing my business when I'm in Canada. I provided their birth certificates. I provided my degree. I provided my resume. I provided my vaccination certificate. I provided everything that I made mention of. So don't mention something in the letter that you cannot prove. And you want to be truthful in this letter as well. So if it is a case where, you own a piece of land, you want to show the title for that land. If you own a car, you want to show the title for the car. If you own a house, if just anything that you are going to mention, ensure that you can upload proof of it. Another thing that I was kind of worried about when I started hearing about it was travel history. No, personally, I don't have any travel history. So I've heard that persons have gotten denied because of no travel history. That wasn't my case, thank you Jesus. But I've heard that the travel history is something that immigration can look at, because if you have a travel history, I guess it says a lot about you. It says that you are able to go out of your country and return to your home country. So you can take that into consideration too. If you have a lot of travel history, meaning your passport's full of stamp, you can mention it that you have traveled outside your country before, etc., etc. Also, you want to ensure that you are providing your proof of tuition payment. So you're already accepted into the school, which would now mean that you need to pay a deposit to your tuition. So when you pay your deposit via whichever medium you choose, I chose to wire my money. So after wiring your money, your school would have provided a receipt. So you're going to get your receipt from the school and you're going to attach that as proof of tuition payment, because that is a supporting document that you would need to provide. And again, how much the deposit to your school depends on the requirements of the program. So they would tell you when is the deadline to pay this money and how much should be paid. As well as coming from Jamaica, you would need to provide a police record. Now, if you are in Jamaica, you know how, I think they're getting a bit better at it now, but getting a police record in my time, it was a whole one money per run up and down. So start looking about your police record from early, and it's valid for 1 year. You want to start out your police record from early, because the dates, you might get a long date and you're ready to apply and it's not ready. So you want to ensure that you provide a police record. A lot of persons also asked me if I had to do the English test to come to Canada. You know, the various English tests that Canada requires from a lot of countries that English is not their first language. No, I did not have to do the test. Apparently, if I'm not mistaken, I think Jamaica is on a list that is exempted from doing that test because English is our first language. Coming from Jamaica, I did not have to do the test. Did I have to do a medical? No, I did not have to do a medical. However, I think a medical is dependent on what you're going to study. For example, if you're going to do nursing, a nursing program or a social work program or something of that sort, then you would need to do a medical. So keep that in mind, that you probably will need to do a medical depending on what you're studying. So I'm doing finance, that's business. I did not need to do a medical. But yeah, that's basically how I did it. I just provided evidence from everything that I'm making mention of in my statement of purpose, and I prayed and I had faith. Now I am going to do a part 2 to this video, what to do now that you got your student visa approved. What's next? So stick around for that video. Should be uploading shortly after this one. And turn on your notification bells because you might want to see that video. So I will be talking about what to pack, how to find place to rent if you're going to be renting, and so forth. So just to reiterate what I spoke about in this video, the first thing I did, I chose a school, an attractive program in my budget, program in a province that is not so populated, program in a province that cost of living is not so expensive when compared to other provinces. I provided proof of funds. I showed them transaction history. I made sure that the money was close or in full to the amount that Canada says that you should have, which is the school fee plus 10,000 Canadian dollars for every year you're going to study. I provided supporting documents to back up everything that I stated in my statement of purpose. And yeah, and again, I did use a representative in last minute, Meklinximmigrationcanada. You can find them on Instagram. You don't have to use a representative, but I think I needed a level of expertise, so that's why I contacted a representative. And yeah, that's basically it. So again, I will be recording the next step after getting your student visa approved, what you do, everything around that topic. And so yeah, I have the time now. School not lit me for 6 yet, so I'm just going to use the time I record a video immediately after this one. So you're gonna see me in the same clothes because I record the video literally after I stop recording this. Well, yeah, if you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. A lot of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel. Why? Just click the subscribe button, it's right there. You can turn on your post notifications so you get notified when I upload the next video. And if you still have more questions, again, you can leave them in the comment section below, or you can send me a message on Instagram, and my Instagram is missk.v.p, and I will be sure to answer that question. So again, stick around for the next video and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.